Scooby-Doo ending at the beginning. Hey friends, Dana here. Feeling a little loopy at the moment. Stoked you're here. This episode is so much fun. It's me having a conversation with Taya Lee, who is a person that I think the world of and always have. And if you don't know her, you're late. I'm excited to introduce you. If you do know her, you're thrilled because she's 100% delightful 100% of the time. Before we get into that conversation, though, we're going to do some wins. Today, I've got a very human win. That win was a loss that turned into a win due to me having a large amount of money in my savings account. Largest relative, whatever. I get it. I just got new air conditioning, y'all. The kind that required a crane to replace the thing on the roof, and the kind that required an angle grinder to replace the part that's in my building. So it was a twofer. This is a full, like, piping, units, whatever, basically a car. I bought a car, and it keeps me cool in my home in the middle of summer in Los Angeles. So we're celebrating that I have become a person with a healthy savings account, healthy enough to get new air conditioning, even when that was not on the annual budget plan. But I'm feeling great. In my house, it's a casual 73 on this whatever day of whatever. It's hot. The sun, it's hot, y'all. Drink some water. That's my win. I have new air conditioning. You're staying hydrated. Now you go. What's going well in your world? Please tell me that you're staying cool. Congratulations, my friend. I'm so glad that you're winning. This episode really is a win. Taya Lee is such a light, a gift to dance movement, but the entertainment industry specifically. I think she has a great eye and a great flexibility, emphasis on ability to flex. This episode is a flex. Just casually talking about working with Beyonce for the Cowboy Carter tour. She's talking about the literal game-changing moments that led to that. I think you're going to really love this. I know I sure did. Without any further ado, the one, the only, Miss Taya Lee. I licked the shit out of that pen. I think you're delightful. I'm
Likewise.
Super excited that you're here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's happening right now. Taya Lee, this is your first podcast ever. What? I'm so honored.
I'm scared.
I'm so thrilled. I think the world of you, and I've thought the world of you from the day that we met, which was over Zoom, right?
Yes.
Okay, dang. Before we get into our meet cute, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you want the listener, viewer to know about you?
My name is Taya Lee, and I do like going by my first and last name, actually.
Do you?
I do.
It's funny. I don't like stopping after Taya. Taya Lee feels
Yeah, just
correct.
because it's so short,
Taya Lee?
it rolls off the tongue. Actually, in high school, I went by my first and last name. And I didn't choose it. That was just given to me. I am from San Diego, California.
Mm-hmm.
I am a dancer, assistant, stand-in creative person.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have my bachelor's in health and human sciences with an emphasis in psychology.
I knew.
Fun fact.
Super fun.
And anything else, hopefully, you'll discover
Yeah,
in the
we'll
next
find
45
out if yours
minutes.
truly asks all the right questions. Okay, I want to jump back to, you're from San Diego.
I am.
When did you move to LA?
I moved to LA in 2016
Okay.
for college.
And for school.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you graduated in 2020.
I did.
Enter the pandemic and enter Dana Wilson's first ever year of career coaching for creatives and people navigating career transitions, which at that time was everyone because the world is shutting down and we're all in transition. And I'm so glad that you found me. I don't know how you did. How did that happen?
I was thinking about that as well before coming here. I have to assume social media.
Yeah.
But I also am not sure who mutually, like
shared, 'cause we didn't
reposted
know-
your
yeah,
flyer.
yeah, yeah.
And I have no idea.
Okay, well, you got, like, in my opinion, that was my best program, the first round, because after that, I feel like we all had 12 weeks at that point to be doing some intensive deep dive and reflection and curation of self and work on self. And after that, every program got a little bit shorter because people's summers were more, how do you say, active and less reactive to the circumstances. But I really loved you and that group of ABC students. I don't do this program anymore for also my summers have gotten really busy, but the program was for graduates only. And so you had recently graduated. This program was like, hey, are you curious, confused about next steps? And I just remember you showing up every week so bright, unstumpable in the tasks, which we did a couple self-tape exercises. We did a lot of fun stuff. I remember your self-tape in particular. Didn't we do like a peanut butter, like a scoop?
Yeah, but it was a live audition. It wasn't.
Yes, it was a live audition.
Oh, we did it really, really in Zoom. Oh, fun. Thank you for that memory. I really hope that I get to hire you someday for some gig that involves like your experience of eating off a spoon. Because I was like, I want what she's having. I immediately was like, yeah, booked. If I was in charge, absolutely booked. Have you had any success with those commercial castings yet?
No.
Yet. Listen,
Yet.
I mean, the world has been back open for what, 2 years, and one of those was a writer's strike. So it's not you, it's me. But I'm curious what your experience of the industry has been since then. And are you feeling prepared?
I feel like as prepared as one can be, since
Right.
so much of what we do, you learn while doing it.
Correct.
And I think, which is helpful for me, because I think before I really started having a career in dance, I assumed that I had to know everything before I stepped into the, I think I assumed that I didn't know enough to be able to work. So it's been refreshing to be able to still learn while being paid. I think I assumed that I had to know all the answers before someone would pay me to do everything. So it's been a very interesting ride, because also during that time I was still living in San Diego. Moved here, did college, did all of that. And then once the pandemic hit, I moved back home for what I thought was 2 weeks, and I was there for 2 years. And so I thank God I was in San Diego. So I was still driving back and forth whenever I needed to for whatever auditions or whatever. So, and I was also working too. And so I finally was able to move back here with a job. And then dance things started happening. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And it became not even too much for them, but they just wanted an employee that was really creating their life around that job.
Right.
And I was not that
100%
person.
not it.
I was not that person. And so, they had to let me go, which I understood. But I was kind of freaking out a little bit, obviously, because and this was a few months after I'd moved back to LA. So I was like, well, shit, am I going to have to move back home? Started looking for another job. And then I went on a game show and I won $50,000. So that was like, okay. I know, it's like a really insane.
Wait, I really did not know that plot detail.
Yeah, it's a very so, and I filmed it and everything while I was working.
Right.
And it aired, and then I got my money, and I was like, well, shit, might as well try. I was like, I have this safety net to sustain my life for, as long as it'll last me.
Yes.
And just a little bit of savings that I had from working. So I was like, well, let's go all in and try.
How
and
did I not know this plot point?
I know, it's so insane. It's a really
What was the game
ridiculous-
show and
It's
what was the winning moment?
It's called $100,000 Pyramid.
Uh-huh.
It's on ABC.
Uh-huh.
It was and I actually applied to a bunch of game shows during the pandemic, probably around the time that we were in the program, as a joke to myself, because I was like, well, I don't really want to work. I just want money. So that's fun. Let me just apply to some game shows. Da-da-da-da-da. And I heard back from a few, but nothing really materialized. And then 2 years later, they reached out, and it was an extremely rigorous process. It was like months and months of vetting, and every week pretty much I was on Zoom with a producer playing the game. And I didn't know that during that process, people were not being
called back.
Yeah, I just thought, oh yeah, they're just,
This is the process.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm just here playing this game.
You were in an audition.
Yeah, and I had
For months.
I was just like, oh yeah, this is fun. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, another Zoom meeting. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to do the background check. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to be on the show. But even still, you show up the day of filming and you could still not be on it, So I didn't know. And then and also to add more flavor to the story, I booked a music video the day before.
Yes.
And it was a night shoot.
Yeah.
And so I slept for an hour before they picked me up at 6 a.m. to go film. And so I slept.
Crying.
I slept this in my bed.
Story.
I napped.
You napped.
This.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, great. I still have makeup on from the shoot. I can just rise.
Yes.
Correct.
Not even under the sheets, I'm assuming.
No.
Because you don't want to get too comfortable.
I cannot.
The windows are open.
Yeah, I was
drawn.
I cannot trick my body into thinking. And also something else that I forgot. After the shoot was over, got in my car didn't start.
No.
So then I had to wait for AAA. It was just a really insane thing.
Not obviously, because I do want to know. I don't know how the game show works. You knew that you had won on the show.
Yeah.
And then you get to your car and it is saying no.
Well, this is leaving the music video the night before.
Sorry.
And the music video also was not something that was a day of booking situation.
Got you.
Hey, there's a night shoot tonight. Can you be there? And I was, at the time doing yoga on my roof, getting so ready for the next day.
Yes, for your game
I was like,
show
great,
debut.
I'm gonna wash my hair. I'd already fully planned it. And then I was like, oh, okay, let's go do it. And then, I was very nervous leading up to it, even though I hadn't been prior to that, because I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do with an hour of sleep. And, it's such a
You had a plan.
Yeah,
and then your plan changed.
Yeah, it's a timed game, and you're playing with celebrities, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do, and I was just able to lock in, and
Do you remember what you were thinking? Because I'm going to ask you some coachy shit since we did the coaching program together. Do you remember what it was that you were thinking that helped you lock in?
I think that there wasn't a particular thought. It was like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I was like, I can't think about it, because if I think about it, I'm not going to be able to perform. So the handler that I had at the time was really good about, when she would come over to bring me my drink, she'd be like, name 3 birds, go. I was just like,
she kept you sharp.
Yeah, I was like, I'm never out of it, so that I'm here. And I think also I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself for it, because I also, to me, it really was like, oh yeah, we're just having fun. This is not I didn't go in thinking, oh my God, I really need this money. I really need, because I see. Because also at the same time, I was still working. So I was like, oh, this would just be cool to have some extra money. And my parents and we always watched the show. So I was like, cool. Oh yeah, this is just fun.
A cool thing
and
that I'm getting to do.
I left with $50,000. And that really helped calm my nerves once I did end up losing my job. And after that, the work just started coming in slowly and surely. And then, now 3 years later, we're still doing it full time. And
the work, I'm assuming, is direct booked.
Yes.
Mostly,
yeah.
I just did an episode on this, the question, how do dancers make money? And it's one of my more popular episodes of late. I can't believe I've actually never addressed this subject so directly, but I actually went through my resume and highlighted the number of gigs that were direct books versus auditions, and versus the work that I create myself. It's interesting. Please go have a listen. It's quick, 20 minutes, but I do think that there's, for most people who are professional and capable and get the job done, kind of a tipping point. You will really have to show up and be introducing yourself in the form of auditions, in the form of taking class and training. But once you're in and doing the work and can show that you're capable and have a body of work to point to, kind of that part of the hard part
Yes.
tapers off a little bit.
Yes.
Things are still challenging.
For sure.
Which is probably a great segue. You just got to work on a beastly project.
Yes.
Was this your first time working with Beyonce?
This was my second time.
Okay.
Yeah, we did Beyonce Bowl in December.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And you just worked on the latest tour. Can you talk a little bit about your title, your responsibilities, and the big one? I want to hear a lesson learned. Like big lesson, big gig, big lesson learned. Hit me.
Yeah, I was the assistant choreographer for the Cowboy Carter tour. I think that in this project in particular, my responsibilities were I was assisting Tyrik Patterson, who I assist often, and so really helping out with all the pieces that we were in charge of, but it wasn't, pigeonholed to that. And there's also other choreographers who had work, so helping with that, in addition to the old material that still, persists. So helping with that. Really, I think often trying to be an advocate for the dancers, and I always make it a point to check in with the dancers and what do they need? What, okay.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Thirsty, break.
Yeah. So it's been, a lot of it was either communicating to the choreographers what they needed or to other departments too. Correct. It was like, okay, wardrobe, this is what we need. Music, you got to add some clicks here because they're not hearing this, so doing that and taking notes, creating schedules. So there is some administrative things as well, which is, I think, kind of particular to me because I've worked as an admin assistant so much. So it's very easy for me to take on those roles. Like no one,
naturally
all of
organized,
these things,
naturally communicative, very clear. Your email game is like tops, Taya Lee.
Thank you. So I feel like all of these things that I'm saying were my responsibilities is actually really good because I haven't actually
really
processed.
That.
Yeah, like, because it's not like in a typical job.
Nobody wrote
it's
that
like,
in your contract.
Here are your roles and responsibilities. But those were, I think, the main things that I was doing, in addition to, just whatever was needed. And oftentimes, because we also had 29 dancers. So, and with the time that we had, it was a lot of dividing and conquering. And it was like, okay, can you take these people to teach them this thing? Okay, let's make this up real quick. And you go over here. A lot of, splitting and carrying the load so that no one was too overwhelmed. I mean, it's hard not to be in that type of space. And it's also the biggest artist in the world. Even if but you can't even think about that because you will get overwhelmed. So it's like, okay, what is immediately in front of me? All of these notes that we need to address. What's a priority in moving?
Nice, yes.
And I feel like a lot of lessons were learned in this process. I think that something that as I've been talking about it and processing it since, I think I really have a good scope now of what I do want to do and what I don't want to do, which is really helpful. I think that it's very easy to leave something, maybe feeling, not that I didn't leave feeling jaded at all, but I think I was like, okay, this was really interesting for me because this is my first stadium tour, first headlining tour. And so I was like, okay, I think that I want to be this type of leader and I don't want to be this type of leader. And here's how I think I could be better about communicating. Here's, what I saw that I really didn't like. And it was I feel like a huge pressure cooker of information in a short amount of time. But it also, I think, is a very empowering type of job because you know that, okay, if I can do something like that and it not crash and burn, then I can do anything.
Say it. Oh, what a great feeling.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you felt particularly underprepared and wound up pulling something off that you didn't expect?
I think most of the time when assisting Tyrik, I am always in the room when choreography is being created. And it's like, okay, I might suggest something, but most of the time you know, like the choreography is his. He's not, and every choreographer is different in how they want to be assisted. Some people want good demonstrators. Some people want people to just make stuff up. And, you know, like, so everybody's different. I think that in our relationship, I am an I mostly. And, you know, he'll do things and I'm like, I don't think that's going to read. Or, you know, so
more this,
changing things. And I feel like there were some moments in this that he was like, okay, can you go make this up? And I was like, oh yeah, we typically don't have that type of relationship. So I think that there were definitely moments that I was like, oh, right, there's a choreographer in my title, so I have to choreograph something.
Yeah,
and so
the choreography team, meaning if choreographer is in there, 8 counts are to be expected.
Yes. So
I could talk about this for 1,000 years, actually, and you're so right in calling out from the top. Everybody's different, but what you just said, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
When choreographer is in your title, you can expect to be making up moves.
Yeah. So I think that, not that I felt unprepared, but I was just like, oh yeah, okay, let me do that. Let me figure that out.
Put my email fingers down and put the notebook down and like get into my body right now.
And I think also a big thing that became my responsibility was sending off all rehearsal videos to other departments so that they had
data management, y'all.
Yeah.
It's like
so,
file management, organization. Ooh, and some of that takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. And
because the clip is 12 minutes, you have to watch it from beginning to end to make sure it's the right clip and that it doesn't also, defect anywhere.
Because I am so nice, I, you know, would also edit them. So it's, you know, I'm like, okay. Is it
because you're nice, or is it also because you love a high level deliverable?
It's not even that. I think because I was just like, we have such little time, and it would be very helpful if beyond them just knowing the choreography, this is being sent to lighting and content and, you know, all these other departments. So if I can say, okay, we're going to travel from A stage to the thrust to the B stage, which you can't
so you
really
notated your clips. I got you. Yes,
so
yes.
I was like, wherever we are in this, anything that was in regards to staging and lighting, I would include. Or, okay, we're going to come up the lift here. Just so things that you can't really tell in a rehearsal space, but are going to impact how you're programming these lights and these different features, I would include. And I think that that's something that I haven't done and been responsible in that way of like, you know, everybody's waiting on you to do this thing.
Yes.
So I think that, not that I was unprepared, but I also am someone who really enjoys not doing anything technologically. You know, I'm like, I want to use all technology for its basic function. I'm not interested in
becoming an editor,
a
specialist,
technical
person.
I loathe it. So but I, you know, did it because that's what was needed to be done.
And it was what was useful. You found that after, because I'm assuming this is, how many months did you rehearse?
I wish we had months to rehearse.
Was it one?
Yeah.
2020 experience came together in less than a month.
Yes.
So you found in that short period of time, the feedback was like, this is helpful, this works. I've had both in my because I love an edit. Like I will sit and I will edit. Yes, always trimming like top and tail. And I do love some texty poos to explain what's going on so that I don't have to, so that the person watching gets the information here in one place versus the email for the notes and then the video and the back and forth.
Exactly.
But I have experienced both where I will spend hours on an edit that will go into a Google Drive that no one will open.
Yes.
And they're going to ask me that question when they see me tomorrow.
100%.
Or they're going to look at the outdated version, which is why being organized is so very important.
Yeah.
They'll show me the version from 2 weeks ago and say, no, this is what you said. And I'll say, yeah, that's what I said 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So when you establish that as the bar, you have to uphold it. Otherwise, it can be as harmful to have the wrong information than no information.
No, I definitely did experience that. And I feel like it is hard because that's not my only job.
Right,
So
of
I'm
course,
doing this after rehearsal, and then after we stay after to create and address whatever notes and whatever meeting we have with the heads of department. So
you go home and you're still
and then I go
working.
home and I'm doing this.
Oh,
and
my
so
friend, I know this hustle.
yeah,
I know
it's
this
a lot
hustle.
of work, but it's also, there is no resentment there because it's like the work needs to be done. So, and I just happen to be equipped to be the person to do it. So
And made
it
the
is what
project
it
better,
is.
and it helps people do their jobs.
Yeah.
To a high degree.
Yeah. I think that, and also as we were talking, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just remembering other things. We use this program called Arrange. I don't know if you...
I've heard of this.
And it's an app that I feel like is most compatible with like an iPad. And you do formations on it, and it has a bunch of different things. You can put music on top and it'll move in, you know, like you can...
I can see the value here.
But it is a very tedious, time-consuming
And it's like
thing.
kind of... Those sort of things, in my experience, work really well when you're all in.
Yeah.
When every single number from start to finish
Right.
is done. But if you are running through a type of day that doesn't go top to bottom,
100%.
it can be, when you leave a gap here, that can create a problem with so-and-so's little dot or avatar or whoever
Right.
being in the wrong place because you didn't get to finish.
Yeah.
And it can... I find myself geeking out over technologies that exist to make my job easier.
Yeah.
Geeking out, loving this shit, and then still holding a paper and pen and doing shit.
Yes.
the
Like we
old-fashioned way.
didn't, there was no intention of us using that because we know what it goes into. But when Beyonce looks at you, and because she already knows that during Beyonce Bowl, I did it, which was very, very difficult because
I can only imagine.
that was hundreds of people on a field.
Yeah.
And a 15-minute or 12-minute performance, and so many different factors. And so I was traumatized from doing it for that because as soon as I started that process, Tyrik sat me down and he was like, Taya, this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever
Are you
done.
ready to commit to this?
And I'm just going to thank you in advance because this is going to be really difficult. And for that as well, I did that. And it was helpful for other departments
because
to just
when
understand
she looks at you and
how
she's
it's
like,
moving.
"Hey, where are these people when I'm here?"
Yeah,
and you're like,
right
1 second?
here, yeah,
and
so
she can see it.
Yes, it's really helpful for lighting and other people to understand how things move. But I was, obviously not trying to do that for this. But she was like,
For a 3-hour show.
yeah, she was like,
You did a
can
12-minute number.
Can you guys do this? And we were like,
Do we have to?
Like, when do you want it? And she was like, tomorrow. And this was also already after rehearsal, so I think that was like one of those moments where you look at each other and you're just like,
out.
All right, it's going to be a long night. Let's strap in. And we just got to do it. And we move on.
And you plug.
Yeah.
And you had the information.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there were questions, but you had enough to plug in and have...
So I feel like that's like a moment, again, of not unpreparedness, but just mental and emotional unpreparedness. Yeah. Not like physical, but it's just like, okay, let me get my life together.
Rally from?
Yeah, I have to pull this out of my ass energetically to like get this through because now I know I'm going to be up getting this done. But I know that this is helpful. So
and then can I be sharp still that
next day?
The
next day, because I still have to be here.
Yeah.
In the morning. Yeah.
Ooh. Do you find, so you told me a second ago that your sleep routine right now is like 7 to 10 hours per night. Do you find like maybe that's because you're still in recovery mode?
I think, and I am still recovering.
Absolutely. That was a different kind of you.
Yes.
That had to survive on 4 hours a night, that was running on adrenaline most of the time. That was a different kind of you. And the recovery, I would love to see some sleep scientists.
It's very interesting because
show people and how we operate.
Yeah, the adjustment period is different for everyone. And when I was in it, I wasn't, you're not even thinking about it because it's like either have to get up early to get there before rehearsal to finish this thing, or have to stay late to work. It's just like,
you can't
I'm
create
just
more
here
time.
to do this job, and that's what it is. Versus, a dancer is like an hourly rate, and it's a very different when you're on the creative side of things. Like,
see what you're
you
saying.
just have a job to do, and once this job stopped, just for me, because once they started traveling, our first shows were in LA, and so sorry. Once they started heading out, my duty was over. Yeah. And so to go from living like that, which, I wasn't even thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm aware that we're moving fast and we are doing all of this, but I'm just thinking about what notes can we get done? I'm not really zooming out. But once we were done, I was like, oh, this is why people struggle in this industry. It's this moment in particular. And I don't think that I realized or appreciated why people struggle so much until
the moment where the job is gone and you wave it goodbye.
Yeah, because this is the, I think, most intense process that I've been a part of. And just, it was just so much. And to have a high like that. And, I think that since this was like a 2-month, 3-month process, I haven't experienced this because I've never done anything that was that type of length. So to be living like that for 2 to 3 months, to immediately thrust your body into, okay, go do that laundry and, just like be a regular person again, it can be very difficult to find your footing if you don't have good people around you to ground you.
And
if
good,
you don't have
a way of looking at the world and making sense of
it.
Because
I think if you are someone either that like is caught up in the like idolatry or, you really care about things like that, it can be hard if to be like, I just went from looking at Beyonce every day and conversing with Beyonce every day to being a regular person.
To like having to go to Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
For more, what do people get at Trader Joe's? Lemons.
Get
flowers.
the red juice.
The red juice from Trader Joe's?
Get the red juice.
I kind of stopped going to I used to be like hardcore Trader Joe's. And then I got Riz, my dog.
Yes.
And we started doing our grocery walks together. And Trader Joe's a little too far from us. So we do the Ralphs she comes with.
Yes.
And so I've kind of, I've lost track. But I do love Trader Joe's for flowers. All of my flowers I'm always getting from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I love Trader Joe's.
So you're back, you have like an empty desk syndrome. I've called it that in the past, where you have like this all-encompassing, fully involved, heavy-duty project, and then the project is over, you click ship or you wave goodbye, and you're looking at an empty desk and yourself in the mirror, like, who am I without this job?
Yeah.
And what do I do with this time? And what am I going to do ever again that's going to be as good as this?
Right.
A lot of those questions.
It's a lot. And I think that's when I first was struggling with the sleep because even before this job, I am someone like, I need my sleep. I am still a night owl. So, I'll probably still be up till 2, but don't talk to me before 10. Like, this is just the reality.
These are the boundaries,
this is what it is.
These are the boundaries.
And so leaving that, I haven't had struggle with sleep prior to this. And I was like, oh my gosh, there were some nights that it would take me a while to fall asleep. And then other nights where I would be able to fall asleep, but then I would wake up and then, just to get like my body back on regularity and schedule. Because even with that, it still wasn't regular chaos. It was still a chaotic chaos.
Yes,
it's like
highly irregular
everything
chaos.
is different. Everything is different. So it took me a second, and I think I'm still finding it. I only have like a few more days of freedom before I jump into something else. So it's, it's been hard, but I think I've been okay because of the people around me and being able to like, okay, we are good. Here we are back in. And I'm someone who I really like to be regulated, self-disciplined, and create structure for myself. Yes. So to return to that and create that again has been nice to find that again. But it's hard.
It cool that you can?
Yeah.
I wind up talking to a lot of people who think they are better at being at not being the boss. Like easier for them to do what they're told. And P.S. I'm raise his hand, like one of these people who believes that it's easier to do what they're told than to decide for themselves what their day is going to be. It may be easier, but shit, let me tell you, the fulfillment. I mean, I've done some cool ass gigs, but my favorite days are the days where I made my schedule and I did everything on that schedule. It's like, for me, I want to do this. For the podcast, I do this. Now I teach and I do this. And then I'm taking my acting class and I'm doing this scene. And then I'm doing this. Like, ooh, I get real jacked off of the days that I can structure for myself and execute for myself versus... No offense, because she's phenomenal, and the show is phenomenal. By the way, I need to give you flowers. I should have had fucking actual flowers.
I'll just take these.
Trader Joe's. Yeah, no, you can. The show was fantastic, and she's incredible. And still, my favorite days. I mean, I've never worked for her, but there were days when I was on tour with Justin Timberlake, where I was doing my daily video of the day every day for over a calendar year. And I was more excited about my 15-second thing that came from my brain and went through my fingertips and my body of processing, and then my edit, and then my fucking struggle to upload, download, reload, find Wi-Fi, all that from creation, or from like the inception of the idea to the creation of the thing to clicking ship, going through you on your time, on your terms, is a really powerful feeling.
It is really cool because we do all of that for other people.
Yeah.
You know, like everything, even if you're not doing all of those things broken down stepwise, energetically, you are giving all of that same energy to, you know, whatever project you're working on.
Well, some of us do. Some of us do. Some of us do. Some of us are better or worse at setting the personal professional boundaries, but I think probably, stop me if I'm wrong, to exist in that camp, you're an all-in type of person.
I think even outside of the camp, just the process and also the person. I am just someone who cares.
Yeah.
You know, so
if your name is on it, whether Beyonce's name is in front or behind it, you're an all-in person.
Yeah. And I think I don't know how not to be. And it's not, this is just how I am as a person, because I'm just someone who cares deeply about things. So I'm not able to, when we leave, stop thinking about, oh, right, okay, maybe if we change the staging here, then, okay, right, let me make a note. We can address that tomorrow. You know, I'm not like actively trying to
clock
use
out,
what, you know,
disengage.
but it's just like on my way home, whatever things come up, or I'm still singing the songs in my head. You know, like I'm still in it mentally. So
that is the other unique thing about what we do, is that like the clock in, clock out line gets very blurry, as you mentioned, especially on the creative side. I think dancers go home and they stop dancing.
Yeah.
But they don't get to stop caring. If you stop caring, then you don't have that job anymore.
Right.
I think finance people, maybe, or bankers, they can clock out and stop caring about finance.
Sure.
But a dancer has to clock out, go home, do their Epsom bath, do a foam roll, do a meal prep for tomorrow, to keep the body and mind operating in a way that can perform at those insanely high standards and in insane circumstances is really a full-time job, no matter what department you're in or where you show up, as what part of the wheel you are.
Yeah.
But I'm all of that to say, like, you are exactly where you are meant to be in a landscape such as that. People who care a lot and have skills and are flexible, also ready to learn. Oh my gosh. I think of you as being one of these kind of people. My sister was just explaining two different kinds of people. And I know that this is like, as I'm saying this, I'm listening to this podcast as an outsider, like, yeah, bullshit. There's not just two types of anyone. But listen, hear me out. I was just talking to my sister about how she sees herself as being a decisive and a flexible person. I think there are people who are more decisive and or flexible. Like I know some people that are very much easy peasy, totally flexible, but not really decisive. But it's cool because whatever you decide, I'm cool with. But I also know people who are inflexible and not decisive. And I think to operate in this medium, in this world, in this industry, when you're your best self, you're both.
Yeah.
Both decisive and flexible.
Yeah.
And I feel like what Riley and I have kind of created in our teamship and in our way of always doing multiple things, whether it's choreographing a tour or choreographing a this, that, and maintaining podcast schedule, is being very decisive and organized and being flexible.
It's required.
It's required
to
at your best.
Which is
to
so
have both.
interesting because there are many people who do
Totally.
not, you know.
I see high level people who would rather someone else decide.
Yeah.
And I also see some really, really inflexible people doing very, very well.
Yeah.
And everybody else just bending and breaking their back to deliver for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the worlds that I like to swim in, which by the way, brings me to my next thing that I want to talk about. The worlds that I like to swim in are where people are the best at both.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that brings me to my next thing that I wanted to talk to you about and compliment you on and thank you for. You posted a story recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a Taya talking to the people.
Taya Talk. I used to do Taya Talks.
Bring them back. I'm subscribing because you said, and you said it slow like this too, which kept me on the edge of my seat. People really think it's like virtuous and good to dance like water. Like fluidity, right, is the thing. Everybody's really trying to be fluid. But here's the thing about water, friends. It's also clear. And then I sat with that for a second. And I was like, where's she going with this? And you left such a dramatic pause. And then you were like, where's the clarity? You can move like water all day long. You can move like a lazy river. You can move like whitewater rapids. But where's the clarity?
Find it.
And I do know people who can do both. But I think you had in that video, you put your finger on the pulse of something that I've been thinking but not able to say for a long time. Everybody's got the watery, boogery. What I just did was not fluid at all, by the way. I was like ganking. Everybody is going for this like carry. What's the word for run-on sentence? There it is. It was like carryover sentence.
That's
carry-on
so
sentence.
interesting that you said that because after I shared the story and I was, people were responding to it, to the like laughing, but also there are people who were like, no taken, and as I was thinking about it more, I was like, oh, do you know what it's like? It's like you are a run-on sentence. Yes. And do you know what happens? If you were to read a run-on sentence aloud, you run out of breath. So if you are dancing like a run-on sentence, you are forcing your viewers to run out of breath.
And you yourself.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. And it's so interesting. I'm like, if we dance with punctuation in the same way that we have to write with punctuation.
And speak with breath, which requires a pause for inhale.
Like the dancing is so much more legible. Like I would love legible dancing. And it's also fun because so many people also responded who are not movers, who were taking the fluidity, clarity, parallel outside of dance and just regular life. Yes. Like, we all want to just go with the flow and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just fluid. But I also am not clear. Yeah.
It's all a fog.
It's like, are you clear in your goals and your path and your life? And it's okay if you're not, but I think that we should try to find more of a balance. So very much, it's the decisiveness and flexibility.
And I also just love your way of being able to talk to the people. It's not weird. Like I felt like you were talking directly to me. Sometimes I struggle talking to the device.
Yeah,
I do still sometimes. I would way rather talk to these devices, but there's also humans. But I felt like I was having a chat with you. Yeah. So I was wondering if you might have any other golden nuggets that you could share with the dance types out there.
Damn.
You have one of my favorites. Remember one day when we were talking about like class videos and being able to like watch people, but everyone's doing something different in the class video.
Oh yes, that is very true.
It's like one of my
When
favorite
watching, that is so funny. So when I am consuming Instagram, And
Yes. I've heard of it.
And obviously, most of my algorithm is dancing and seeing dancers. When people post class videos, I watch it on silent just to see like what are we doing? I don't know. Because sometimes, you know, the music, if I really like the song, that's kind of, you know, swaying me a certain way.
For sure.
And it's not like a super deep thing, but I'm like, I just want to, like, what are you dancing like? And for me also, if there's multiple people in the video, and, you know, it's you, but there's a bunch of other people. When I'm watching it on silent, you look like you're dancing to two different songs, I scroll.
Wow.
And it happens very, very often.
Oh, I bet.
And I don't want people to not post because the person next to them looks crazy. But I really am I'm like, oh, who taught that class? Noted. You know, like, yeah, I think, because it's not on you. That's on the teacher, because they didn't articulate to you how to, and sometimes it could be on the dancer, and, you know, sometimes people just execute things how they want to execute.
Oh, yeah, there is also choose your own adventure timing out there.
So, you know, like, I have a lot of, there's not judgment there, but I'm always just like,
preference.
This is an interesting thing. And I mean, shit, if you look good, post what you're going to post. I don't care.
But know that Taya will be scrolling.
No, you're not getting a like out of me. I always am really interested in what the final, after your hour and a half and then this video, what did you get from that? And I am not judging the dancer. I am really judging the teacher, because I'm like, oh, did we just continue to keep
get to refine that?
Yeah, we just like decided to keep going, even though we could see floundering. Why? Wow. You know, like, why can't, if you're gonna get, you know, 30 seconds in, are you
important question?
Yeah, like, why not just let's refine these 30 seconds rather than pushing to get the full minute?
What do you think the answers are?
I think it's self. Like, you're not there to really serve. You're serving yourself.
You're there to,
you know, so
teach
that
what you think you're going to teach.
Yeah, to like show the people
not being
who
flexible.
Are exactly, because I'm like, there's no way. This means that in this class, you saw floundering and you chose to ignore it, and I have a problem with that, because you are there to teach, and sure, someone could still get something out of pushing to learn a minute-long piece or whatever, and that's still a skill and not something to be discounted. But also, I think it's really, really nice to leave, as a student, to leave like, okay, we really got into that. You know, like, I was able to leave feeling like, even if I didn't get it, we cared, you know, versus, okay, we're just barreling through this thing just for the sake of barreling through it, just to push me. Yeah. But I'm already being pushed with 30 seconds. So maybe we need to put a pin in this so we can really get these 30 seconds together.
Yeah. What's a worthy push? What's the push that's worth it?
And I feel like every environment is different, but that requires a good teacher to really be able to read the room, understand the pulse of the room, and see what's happening with your students. Yeah. Because I'm like, we can't just focus on the people who do have it, and, you know, go like, who is in the back not getting it. And that's okay. Everyone's here on different levels. And so it's like, you can't also just, you know, bend and acquiesce to everything happening in the room. Yeah. Like, you do have to have that push. It's a really interesting balance to find. Yeah. But I wish the
leave no child behind idea. Yeah. I see great value to it. Right. And as especially a person who teaches on convention often, if I geared my convention classes to the lowest level of the room, I think I would, one of my answers to that question, why do people do that? I think I would lose more
100%
than I helped.
100%.
But there is also, like, that's a further degree of refined teacherdom, is like being able to evaluate majorities. Right. The majority of the room needs this. Yeah. The small few needs this. Yeah. How can I address the small few and push these guys or push these guys while addressing these guys.
There's a lot of, and I also will retract, I'm not judging the teachers, but I'm just like curious as to
what was going on in there.
What was the class
How did you
like?
use your time?
Yeah, because everyone is different, and I'm not saying, okay, one person is struggling, so we should stop here. No. But if like the general, I've been in many rooms where I'm like, whoo, we gonna keep going, all right. You know, it's like, okay.
Train feeling, I have felt more times than I can. I've felt it in auditions too, and that's even my least favorite place.
Yeah, because then you have to try to sell it, and you don't know what you're doing. It's the worst feeling. But yeah, I think is that what I was telling you, Riley?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just am, when there's multiple people, I typically like to watch everyone in the clip rather than just the person, you know, who I'm following, who is there to see like, okay, was this class taught well? Is this clear? Do we all, you know, kind of, even though everyone has their different isms, we're all pretty aligned musicality wise and, you know.
Majority pulse of the room says,
we know what we're doing.
We're good.
Then I'm like, okay, cool. That might be a good class.
Okay, this is a gorgeous segue, and I think it's important for you, a blossoming and becoming and already excellent leader, to have taste and to have thoughts about how people are doing and not doing things. You have created your own program now. I would love to hear you talk a little bit about what you are offering the people of the world.
So I decided to start a workshop called Stand Out, which is an artist stand-in workshop. And I really did it kind of out of not necessity, but last year it was a really dry time work-wise. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do during this lull? Like, I need to do something. And my friends were like, oh, what about teaching? And it's funny that we were just talking about teaching because teaching terrifies me.
Because like you've got thoughts about how people teach.
Yeah, so I think I really would like want to be a good teacher.
Yeah.
I don't desire seek out teaching, but I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I think the reason that there's so much fear behind teaching for me is because I'm like, what is someone going to come to my class for? And if it's for my resume or to get closer to other people, no. You know, like, what are they going to be leaving? What am I offering?
What's the value?
What am I offering? And I was like, okay, well, what am I good at? And especially at that time, being an assistant choreographer is a lot of where my work has led me to, even though I do other things, but that's what's paying the bills. Well, but part of my job assisting is often standing in.
Yes.
And I was like,
and
well,
there are some measurable, quantifiable, good rules of thumb in this space. So you put them together?
Yeah, I was like, okay, standing in is something that I end up, you know, just doing when I'm assisting, and most assistants do unless a stand-in is hired. And so I was like, okay, well, if I were to break that down into elements, like what am I thinking about? What do I do? Well, like, what are the skills that I need?
About positively or negatively?
Yeah, and I was able to break it down into, like 4 pillars. So I was like, okay, maybe I do like a 4-part workshop series about this thing. And I was only able to do the first 2 sessions before work started happening, and I wasn't able to complete it. So I'm hoping probably the end of the year, I'll be able to revisit that and finish that thought out. But yeah, it's our first session was about intuition, because I think that that's like the main thing that a stand-in
and assistant.
Yeah, like you really have to really figure out intuition. So I taught them all the dancer track, and then, you know, we reviewed the artist track, and everybody went one by one, and I was able to give them feedback, and then they were able to do it again, and we were really thinking about how to stand in as the artist versus yourself as an artist. Those are different things, because you're not being you, you're being someone else.
Exactly.
And
also at a scale that isn't so high that you are distracting them from seeing themselves in the place, but also not so low that you're not selling the
Yeah,
thing.
100%.
It's a really fine pitch.
Yeah.
You have to pitch so fucking straight.
Yeah, and it's not something that you ever will practice until you are handed a prop mic and have to do it.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I think that people
Hugely valuable,
would
Taya.
be able
Hugely
to
valuable.
learn from. So yeah.
But every time you teach something is an opportunity to learn it better
100%,
yourself.
yeah.
So this is smart on so many levels.
Yeah.
Taya, are you ready for wrist roll with it? She's not here. I'm crying.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Rapid fire. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so curious because I don't know most of these for you.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Morning rehearsal, night rehearsal?
How early is the morning?
As long as she's had 10 hours of sleep, it doesn't matter.
Morning because I typically stay after.
Yeah,
morning.
and do your solo prep work
So,
and stuff.
but like morning, like 10 a.m. rehearsal. I
Got
don't
it.
want anything other than
Got it.
that.
I'm guessing you can sing. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Other people have told me that I can sing.
You've got a gorgeous speaking
Thank
voice,
you.
so I'm assuming that you can.
I think that I have rhythm.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I can keep.
I've
If I
got
was
my
in a
rhythm.
choir, I wouldn't stick out. You know,
Okay.
But I don't. If I'm like soloing,
Yeah, that's
You
what I
would
want to
be
know
able
about,
to
actually. When
hear
was the last
the
time you
pitfalls.
soloed and were just like belting, and what were you singing?
It
It was some Beyonce, wasn't it?
It was not. It was. I went to the Kendrick and SZA concert,
Dang.
and every single song I belted at the top of my lungs.
Yes, you did.
So, yeah,
Great
that.
answer. What's your biggest fear? Yeah, I know we're going hard.
Woo! My biggest fear is not living in my purpose and potential.
Damn. That's real. What is your favorite song? We're lightening it up.
Ooh.
Favorite song today?
Favorite song today?
Mm-hmm.
I was just singing Today is Sweetest Taboo, Sade.
Yes, you were singing that today.
Yeah.
Today feels that
Right?
very much.
Yeah.
Overcast, vibey. It was a holiday weekend. Everybody's like trying to get back into their life. Is there a song to you that is like untouchable, like so good? It actually might be that same song for me. Sade in general is kind of untouchable.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
That I could never.
Choreograph to or even want to dance to is just that good.
I think probably I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I don't think, there are certain songs that I'm like, this should just be sung and not danced to.
Everyone have a seat. Yeah, agree. Cosign. Speaking of well said, I'm curious about the words that move you. A thought, a mantra, a guiding principle, a poem. I'd take a haiku.
I think right now, a person is a person because of people.
Care to elaborate?
And I think it's like the word, like this comes, it's like a Zulu proverb, Ubuntu is where that comes from. And I think because last week, it naturally happened that I had a dinner with a friend or loved one every single day. Like I didn't intentionally make that happen, but I was like like the whole week. And I was like, wow, I feel okay because I just spent so much time with people that love me and I love them. And so this week I was intentional about reaching out to other people that I haven't been able to see because of, the tour process. And I'm about to jump into another process. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to see people for a while. Yeah. So I really want to make sure that I'm reaching out. And I think I've always knew this, but to know for myself that community is a necessity for survival. So I think because of that, like that's just really present in my life. Like connection in general is very important to me right now, to God, to the people around me, to being connected to the art that I'm consuming and the art that I'm making. Like I just want to be connected in all areas of my life. So I think that's why that's present.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a person that's shaping the people that are listening, watching. Yeah. I've always thought the world of you, and I'm celebrating you. I hope you can hear me cheering you on from the sidelines and all of the awesome things that you're doing. Congratulations. Keep winning, whether it's game shows or gigs.
Right.
So thrilled by you. Thank you
Thank
again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, listener viewer, for being here. We're going to definitely be linking to you and where we can find Stand Out. And we're definitely going to ask that you play the song Stand Out from the Goofy movie. Anyways, go listen to Stand Out. Go sign up for Stand Out. Yeah. Leave a review and a rating. Click the bell for notifications. And of course, keep it very funky. Bye. This podcast was produced by me with the help of many. Big love to our executive assistant and editor, Riley Higgins. Our communications manager is Fiona Small, with additional support from Ori Valladares. Our music is by Max Winnie, logo and brand design by Bree Reitz. And if you're digging the podcast, leave a review and rating, and please share. Also, if you want to connect with me and the many marvelous members of the Words That Move Me community, visit wordsthatmoveme.com. If you're simply curious to know more about me and the work that I do outside of this podcast, visit thedanawilson.com.